I fucking watched Doctor Strange and goddamn finished Moon Knight for last week's show, so we're talking about those.
Oh yeah, we talk about Moon Knight.
I watched No Way Home and Sonic. I watched No Way Home and Sonic, so
we can talk about all that.
You're getting out of me.
I am planning to get my hands on like No Way Home once it falls off of a bus.
Do you want me to send you the copy that I got that fell off of a bus?
That would be ideal. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that on air, but I would say that's an ideal solution.
It fell off the bus. I'm just trying to get it back. Trying to get it back to where it was going. And
it needs to go home.
It was going to
if we're going to talk about Moon Knight, can we also talk about the absolutely hilarious post by the Moon Knight writer?
Well, first we need to talk about how the Latina chick in Doctor Strange's powers, her entire power is being able to cross borders.
No. Wait,
I mean, look, can we at least...
Some of us haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. You fuck yourself.
Can we at least find 5 minutes to laugh at MODOK?
The death of MODOK, that's certainly on there. But also, what about Kaktana? We have to talk about Kaktana.
Watching Master Chief get laid. I mean, you can see the title of the show. Master Chief gets laid and I don't care.
Yeah, that's my answer. Here's the thing, I was never gonna watch a Halo TV show. Okay? And
when I knew they were going to take off his helmet, I knew that I didn't want to watch it.
Well, the thing is, I've seen clips of it. You know what? It's shit. And you know what? People are saying it's shit. And you know what? That's just proof that it's shit.
Red vs. Blue was a better Halo TV show.
I mean, of course it was. It was made by a bunch of lazy assholes because Halo's a lazy fucking setting.
All right, so let's talk about Doctor Strange for a bit because we can talk about it without spoiling things because the plot is lazy and dumb. So there are many problems with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, real quick.
Are we live? We is live.
Yeah, we are live.
We is live. We're live.
Well, real quick, I just want to say, Larry, do you agree that Bonobo Snatch and Elizabeth Olsen did a pretty good job with the characters?
I mean, they're excellent actors. Of course they did.
Wait. Is that a new name?
Wangelberg.
What? Bonobo Snatch, yeah.
Wangelberg Flapdyback. Yeah, Wangelberg Flapdyback is amazing as an actor.
So
I love Walla.
I really appreciate that we're going. I really appreciate we're going out of our way to find new names for that shit actor who's somehow half good as Doc Strange.
I mean, no, he's good. All his stuff. He's a solid actor.
He has a lot of.
Have you guys never seen the?
He has a fucking fish face.
I swear to fucking God. Do you motherfuckers have you never seen the Eddie Izzard bit where he just goes on about how Benedict Cumberbatch is one of those names where you've got to be throwing shit at the wall like Wangelbert Flapdyback?
Yes, I've heard this bit. I like this bit.
So that's what I do. Anytime he comes up, I just call him Wangelbert Flapdyback or Slep Bunwalla.
Here's the thing. He has a fish face. Okay? And he is like the name du jour of English guy we can apply to things. If they can't get Mark Strong. Because I'm just saying just because his parents are from Innsmouth, that doesn't mean he's not a good actor. Right. But here's the thing though, right? His list of characters that he's in is a list of things I fucking loathed. Oh well, he was Smaug, don't give a shit. Oh well, he was the Grinch, he's not Boris Karloff. Oh well, he was Sherlock in a terrible fucking TV show that should never have been made.
The first season was good.
No, the first season was
yes,
ass.
It was.
No,
it was interesting.
It utterly fails.
No,
it was a procedural.
It was totally. It was an interesting way to bring Sherlock into the 21st century. It was fun.
Let him go, Larry. Just let him go.
Monkeys
just let him go, Larry.
Feces. What do you want, Larry?
So let's get back to the point where we're talking about the Doc Strange movie. The problem with the Doc Strange movie is twofold. Number one, it's WandaVision the movie. Because it's written by the writer of WandaVision, who's terrible, and who didn't understand why everybody hated WandaVision, and assumed people are hating on this movie because Wanda is a bad guy in this movie, failing to realize that everybody knew Wanda was a bad guy in WandaVision. It was obvious from outer space.
Now, to be fair, I didn't hate WandaVision. I just hated the fact that they introduced so many elements of Lost into WandaVision where they just didn't explain a goddamn thing. They made a fucking dick joke instead of actually, like, having Ralph Boner be Quicksilver.
Right, but the thing is, they wanted to make it so that Wanda was a good person at the end of WandaVision, and that wasn't the thing that happened. Wanda was terrible.
Well, while I respond to this with a thing, I just have a weird question. Has anyone actually like announced the show on the Twitter? Did we send out the ad?
I did.
Okay.
I did too. I just put "We're live" and put the link. You know.
Okay. I'm making sure we're doing our job on some level.
So part one of the problem with this movie is it's a WandaVision sequel. Part two of this movie is it's an America Chavez origin story, but America Chavez is barely in it. And number two aspect of the America Chavez origin story problem is they don't use the better one, where America Chavez was born on supervillain Epstein Island, which was the superior version of
number 2A.
Number 2A.
Thank you for coming to Larry's TED Talk. He now has 72 slides of the Zapruder film.
Now, Doctor Strange didn't have a character arc in the movie, and America Chavez didn't really have a character arc in the movie.
That's actually a pretty good segue into weaving in No Way Home into this, because Doctor Strange actually had more of a character arc in No Way Home than he did in Multiverse of Madness, from what I understand.
That's what I've heard, and
1,000%.
My thing is, I still want to see Multiverse of Madness, right? But I was recently talking to Larry about the subject of this TV show Boba Fett, right?
Ugh.
And I made the argument that it's a real problem when you boil it down.
Actually, isn't it The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett?
I mean, it should be. The thing is
no, that I think that was the original title, wasn't it?
No, the title we got was just Book of Boba Fett. It's a stealth.
Oh, I thought it was Mandalorian, basically season 2 subtitle.
Well, no, it's a stealth season 3 of Mandalorian, because Mandalorian had or Boba Fett had a problem, which is what I was about to get at, an unwillingness to commit to their concept.
Huh?
They tried to waffle between two things, and when it didn't work, they were like, "Quick, get something everyone likes and throw it on top." Now I can tell you what the actual plan for Doc Strange Multiverse of Madness was. But I can tell you what the idea that would have worked is, which is not an America Chavez origin, and not WandaVision the film, but taking Doc Strange, having him deal with the ramifications of No Way Home, and playing out the abject, batshit, complete insanity of the multiverse. If they had gone full tilt on multiverse,
well, here's the problem with that, Joe.
These conversations.
Here's the problem with that, Joe. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out first, and Spider-Man No Way Home was supposed to come out second.
Oh, I know. I know that a lot of this is COVID problem.
And also, originally, it wasn't supposed to have anything to do with Wanda. It was supposed to have to be Nightmare as the main villain.
Which would have been nice. I like Nightmare.
Well, there's also this issue. There's this issue, Larry, which Church has brought up on stream.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Yeah, nobody's asking the important question. Is the Doctor Strange movie a breeder propaganda?
No, because you don't want to breed with crazy. That's why she built a robot.
Well, no, I think the real question is how can it be breeder? How can it be breeder propaganda when Wanda first tried to procreate with her dildo?
Wait, hold on. We're just accepting that we're using the term breeder to just being a normal person.
Oh no, I fucking hate it.
Yes.
But let's go there. I've always felt that people that use the term breeder when referring to hetero are like the worst kind of people.
Yes. Yeah. That's why they. But another problem in this movie is Rachel McAdams was criminally underused, much like she was in the Zack Snyder movies.
Who?
The lady who played Lois Lane is also Doc Strange's love interest in these movies.
Oh, right. Okay.
The thing is like I think that the use of breeder is analogous to certain other slurs we're not going to use.
Like the F slur?
No, like the F
That
word.
rhymes with like the F slur that rhymes with a bunch of sticks.
Yeah. And I have a real problem with the idea that...
You mean like Dago?
No, Binger.
They know what they did. But no, I'm just saying, I have a real problem with any set of arguments that hinges on I can use a slur and you can't when slurs are bad for everyone.
Dude, my new favorite slur is calling women a rib. I fucking love that. It's so good.
So
wait a minute. Ayrton, I gotta ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Okay.
What do you do when you go to McDonald's and you want to order a McRib from a female who is a rib?
Hopefully she's semi-attractive and doesn't have meth teeth. And I get lucky.
I'm just saying the McRib comes back.
I mean, Ayrton is going to McDonald's in the greater Detroit area, so is a high probability of now.
Honestly, it could be a human rib you're getting in the greater Detroit area. You don't really know.
Yum, cannibalism.
So the problems are there wasn't a structured narrative. It was a compromised production because originally they didn't even want to do this Doc Strange movie. They wanted to have James Gunn be the understudy for Kevin Feige, but then his old tweets got out and he got fired. And then Disney rehired him later when they realized, oh, this is a terrible mistake. So Kevin Feige hasn't been minding the store, and that's why all the stuff that's happening now is really effing weird and doesn't make any sense.
Well, and there was that whole girl power shit in the middle of the movie. We won't go into spoilers, but wasn't that the most retarded thing you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, it was retarded because the villain was girl power, the heroes were girl power, and it worked out super well for the villain.
Well, not even that. I mean, there was the whole, the hand-to-hand fight.
Yeah.
Like, that was as soon as that happened, I was like, are you fucking serious?
The whole fight was dumb, but we'll get more into detail on that when our two friends get an opportunity to watch this movie.
Oh,
Sam Raimi's visuals were excellent and everything you'd expect for Sam Raimi.
Of course, Sam Raimi's visuals were great. One of the believable criticisms I've heard is that this movie could have been really good if they had just let Sam Raimi off the leash. That the primary problem of this film was Disney oversight being like, okay, Sam, we want you to do all the things that you do well, but don't do them too hard because you'll make people uncomfortable.
I suspect that there was some footage that was filmed by the original director, and they said, Sam, we need you to make this look like this is totally your idea, and you're doing this when in actuality you're cleaning it up.
You mean the whole second act?
Pretty much the whole second act.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is, I've heard, one of the conversation points I've heard is that this is basically a horror movie, which Sam Raimi would be ideally chosen for.
No.
It's not a horror movie.
No.
Anybody who says that's retarded.
No, let me finish before you jump it. We know it's wrong. Okay? The thing is that as comics, that's part of the problem, is that Doc Strange is not a, Dr. Harry Potter Wizard MD, right? Doc Strange is a horror book. As is Ghost Rider, as is Blade. These are things that are technically Marvel properties that would be much happier and live much better lives under the Touchstone brand than the Disney brand.
Yes.
But they make no effort to make this a horror movie.
You can see glimpses of Sam Raimi's insanity and horror coming through. But
where it should have been a horror movie.
Right, but he's never allowed to to take it. He's not allowed to turn it up to 11 and just make it batshit crazy he wants to. The aforementioned girl power scene, we almost get some gore in there. Oh, almost. I mean, the first kill, if you will, that was pretty good. Yeah,
the first kill, the first two kills were pretty gory, but in a Sam Raimi way.
No,
there wasn't any blood.
The second one they toned it. He wanted to do more with it, but they toned it back.
Yeah. The one aspect of the cameo, because we all know what the cameo is in the second act of this movie. Patrick Stewart needs to stop acting because all he looks like is a feeble old man.
See, I actually didn't mind his cameo.
Here's what I minded about it is his physical infirmity made him as a superhero seem ridiculous. His presence made the whole superhero narrative harder to believe.
His voice and like his actual presence was shaky, but I think Raimi was able to cover it up well enough.
Except for that one scene where he was walking.
Except for that part. But the rest of it, he did a good job of covering it up and like making Patrick Stewart look as good as he could.
I think we've already addressed part of the issue, which is that really, when you really think about it, Patrick, if this had come out when it was supposed to, right before Picard, people would not have minded a particularly infirm Professor X. But now that we've seen Patrick Stewart post Picard, where he looks really fucking old, yeah, you can tell. You are aware.
I mean, I'll be fair and say I give a little bit more leeway to him in this role just because I have a soft spot for the X-Men franchise, because that's what, when I was a kid, that it was coming out, and Logan is my favorite comic book movie of all time, and I thought he was amazing in that. So I'll give him a little bit of extra leeway, and he's like 106. So. Also,
for Church's benefit, there's clearly a plan to do the Jonathan Hickman plotline for Secret Wars as the new Thanos event.
Yeah, there is.
That's very clearly what they're going to do.
If you'll excuse me.
yeah, Church is gonna be being his monk for the next 15 minutes.
Church, the lotion is on the other shelf.
I wait a minute. Was that a gun? Church, do you feel the need to end it all? Is that what this is?
No, Rune. All my firearms fell into the bottom of a lake in a tragic boating accident.
With that kid and the spiders, I remember.
But
same with mine. Even the one I bought like 3 days ago.
Let's segue into Moon Knight.
We keep getting on boats with our guns. I don't know what's wrong.
You know, fish are dangerous.
Actually, let's go into No Way Home first.
Okay.
Since they've got corollary relations, and then hit Sonic 2. So because I have no concept of Moon Knight either. I noped out after the first episode because I looked up and I realized I had been watching for 30 minutes and had no fucking clue what was happening.
I mean, that is the primary problem with the Moon Knight series, is that it is a terrible introduction to Moon Knight.
So, unlike Doctor Strange to the Multiverse of Madness, go ahead, Church. Sorry.
No Way Home actually was a decent movie. It just, I feel like it was more of a, an hour-long meme shoved in a 2.5 hour-long movie. Because the end, just felt rushed as shit. Like, okay, we're just going to meet at the Statue of Liberty, which, fuck the Statue of Liberty having a Captain America shield. Let me just put that out there. Fuck that nonsense.
I agree.
I'm glad they fixed that bullshit by blowing it up. Gave me some real hamsters vibes by blowing up the Statue of Liberty. But yeah, they go into this entire movie and they set up what would have been the Sinister Six. But all in all, it turned out to be Spider-Man, and Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin and Electro, until they just conveniently whip together this healing serum for everyone. Oh, we're just gonna make you all good. It'll be fine.
Oh, I remember when they did that in Star Trek.
So let's back up. What I'd say this movie does better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is there's a narrative structure, and it does it pretty well. Much as I will agree with Church, the ending was kind of rushed a little bit. They could have done something with that.
What's
but
up,
also,
Chad? How you doing?
Hey,
we love chat.
What could have been great is if they would have had the 3 Spider-Men split up and maybe get their ass handed to them individually. Maybe get their ass handed to them individually, and then meet up, and then have a big group fight, and then Goblin comes in and spanks all their asses for a little while. Well, spread it out a little bit.
Well, you see, the whole
give
thing
me some old school Tobey Maguire being an old man without a support system. Give me Andrew Garfield like saving Zendaya without somebody there to be like, thumbs up, dude, you did it. It just, I don't know, it just felt really gay, for lack of a better word.
I mean, have you seen pictures of those three guys hanging out in real life? They're that way normally. They like became buddies before this movie came together.
So
like
what you're saying?
They all had before pre-production started. They all ended up kind of saying, "Hey, wait! If we do this production this window, all of our schedules will line up, and we could do this movie." And then they pitched it to Sony, and Sony was like, "Yes, I want to make money. Let's see if we can get everybody else's schedule lined up." And then when they started filming, Willem Dafoe was already on set, and nobody had called him.
Well, I mean, isn't that because Willem Dafoe just doesn't go home?
God damn it, Larry! I just took a drink when you said that last line.
I mean, I'm serious though. Isn't it just because Willem Dafoe won't go home? He's just hanging around.
He's just a homeless man that they pay to act.
He's just in the goblin outfit, hanging upside down off of a trellis.
But less of a meme joke. Willem Dafoe actually said he was only going to do this movie if he was able to do his own stunt work with Toby and Andrew and all the rest of them, and he did.
Well, so here, let me put this.
Mad respect for that.
So the first time I watched it, I don't know if you remember, Church, but I didn't really like it. Like, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But reflecting on it, outside of there were parts that were rushed and could have done better with, but this is still technically a Sony production in the MCU, and they actually gave, same with like Sonic, which we will segue into after this. They actually kind of gave the fans what they want, and so I do kind of commend them for at least attempting.
Yeah.
To give the fans what they want, and I thought they took the worst Spider-Man story ever, and actually did an okay job of making it decent.
On that end,
I would have much rather have read this comic book than One More Day. Yes.
Well, on that,
I would rather get 4 vasectomies and another circumcision instead of read One More Day.
Well, on that subject, I want to say this real quick so we can get into Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the things that I overheard somebody say when they were talking about Hollywood in general is they're trying to basically accuse old fans of being the problem, right? And they're saying, it's fan service. And something occurred to me randomly. I was like, wait a minute, why does anyone want to speak well of fan service? The term fan service doesn't just appear in skeevy anime circles, but specifically comes from the misattribution of the sex industry as a service industry, because you're getting serviced. So anytime someone says, but we're giving the fans what they want, we're giving them fan service, they're basically saying, yeah, we're jacking you off because we don't actually respect you.
Well,
so I have a different take on the term.
Hold on. What the fuck is that noise?
Larry, I think you have some background noise going on.
No, it's Rune.
It's not. I know it's not.
No, it just stopped. Anyways, so fan service, I never understood why that's a bad thing. like coming from a musician standpoint, if somebody wants to hear the way I play, like Sweet Home Chicago, for example,
Right.
I'm gonna play Sweet Home Chicago for them because I know they like it, and I'm there to entertain those people. I'm not there for my own enjoy. I mean, I am there for my own enjoyment because I like performing, but
Chad has the right of it. Larry, you're being tapped by the feds.
but like I'm there because I enjoy performing, but I want the people that are there watching the performance to enjoy it. So if somebody likes the way I do a particular song, I'm going to do that song that way for them. I don't get what's so wrong with fan service.
Well, here's two things.
Hold up. Let me bully my way in here for a moment. So the purpose of fan service within the anime and manga scene was to say to the fans, the hardcore fans, hey, we're going to drop a little inside Iggy on you. Which, is something like, you do a little certain something where you're imitating somebody else in a solo because you saw your music reviewed and somebody said, hey, you're a lot like Coltrane. And so you try to pull a Coltrane riff into your song that you wouldn't normally do. So just to drop a bit so anybody who appreciated that could say, yeah, that's what this guy's all about. The sex industry into the fan service only came out because at that time in anime and manga circles, it was the sexy stuff because it was pitched to horny young people. That was the thing that the creators knew that would show the fans that, hey, we hear you guys. We know what's up. Everything else would be like stuff normies would say, oh, well, this is an interesting idea.
That's the thing. My introduction to the term fan service, in fact, comes from Evangelion, that awful show that people love.
Well, I mean, you're entitled to have a wrong opinion.
No, I'm actually smart enough to know what they're saying and why it's baby's first philosophy course. The issue is that it was always presented as like, tune in next week and we'll have plot and some stuff, and of course your fan service. Yes, we'll juggle your testicles as well.
well, no. The fan service that was the thing all the shows did in the late 70s to mid 80s. So that was a bit that was standard in anime at the time.
But that's the thing, is that even if it was a bit and an accepted social norm at the time, it's the kind of thing where it's gained imitators, and the imitators don't know what they're imitating, so they just do it. So now servicing as a medium is not actually a service to the fans. It is an excuse to deflect accusation.
Oh, no. The problem is
we gave you your fan service.
Well, no. The problem is the people who think they're giving fan service hate the fans, so they're not giving fan service. Which we'll point out when we get into Sonic. Is Sonic a legitimate fan service?
Right. And that's the thing, is like Sonic is actually for the fans, but part of that is the course correction from the first movie. Because they were gonna do a Sonic movie, and then they realized, oh shit, we had no idea how fucking insane Sonic fans are. Quick.
Well, no. In fairness, they made Nightmare Fuel Sonic, and everyone was like going, no.
Which was an improvement to the total tapestry of
Sonic
our culture.
2 Sonic 2 was really great, though. By the way, it had a much better story structure. It had much better pacing in comparison to No Way Home.
So, those are different movies. But what I will say about Sonic 2 is I don't like it as much as Sonic 1. You have a reason to like it more because it's a movie. It's a movie for kids. Whereas Sonic 1 was an all-ages movie.
No, I'm with you, though. Sonic 1 was a superior film.
I mean,
but no, Sonic 1 was a better movie, and I did enjoy Sonic 1 better than Sonic 2. But in comparison to, like, any of the Marvel trash that I've seen in the past month or two,
I mean, Larry touched on it
all day, every day. I'd watch that movie.
I mean, Larry touched on it. It is true, Church. You have the target demo for Sonic.
Well, I mean, one of my...
Well, yeah, but just because they enjoyed it, me and my wife enjoyed it more than my kids did.
One of my touchstone memories was in my first lock-in playing Sonic 2 when it first came out on Sega, all the way until it was morning. I have fond memories of that.
Of course, now I have sad memos, and I'm going to sit here and be sad. God damn it.
What, do you need an emulator to fall off a truck, too?
No, it's you know, there's that meme where somebody asks, there's that meme where somebody asks, who hurt you? I could tell you who hurt me. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are, but if they're listening to this podcast by some permutation of fate, they can get fucked.
Watch out, Chad.
Yeah, you. When I was a kid,
Chad's been stalking you all this time. It was him.
I'm pretty sure you can outrun him, Chad. You'll be fine.
So but I keep going. I don't get tired. I won't stop. I'm gonna keep it that slasher pace, that Michael Myers walk.
Yeah, that makes sense. That plays.
But no, when I was a kid, I was big on dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were my thing because dinosaurs are awesome. I think we can all agree.
Well, yeah.
And so, my folks were reading Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a movie. And my parents were like, oh, yeah, we're taking the kid to see Jurassic Park as a kid. And I'm like, yeah, Jurassic Park. So we go and we see Jurassic Park on my birthday.
Yeah, I just put that in the regular chat.
And we
I'm just going to leave that on screen for a while.
Oh, yeah. But we end up sitting in front of two people who talk through the entire fucking movie. Right? Which is bad enough. Nobody likes people talking through your movie. But then
life finds a way. I'm muting Church. There's background noise.
Yeah. But the thing is, people felt bad about me, so they started taking me to Jurassic Park. I saw that movie like 5 times in a week.
Nice.
Right? You'd think, but at the same time, it's like, no, now I can't watch Jurassic Park. I can't even watch the new ones that I've never seen before without being like, I don't care.
They do move in herds.
Okay.
And the new Jurassic Park is like a dumber version of the original Jurassic Park.
I know, what I'm saying is like, Jurassic Park 2 came around. People were like, oh, Joe, you want to go see Jurassic Park? I'm like, no. It's like, but it's Jurassic Park. It's like, don't care. I'm more excited for a Godzilla movie, no matter how bad it is,
dude,
than a Jurassic Park film.
To be honest, besides the human story elements, Godzilla vs. King Kong was fucking sweet.
I can't watch Godzilla vs. King Kong because I know too much. The fact that they're supporting the Hollow Earth as a fucking theory to sell
the Hollow Earth is real.
Get the fuck out.
That's where the lizard people live. No, so wait, real quick, legitimately, back when I was in high school, I was like 16.
Okay, you can't talk about the Hollow Earth unless you go full.
No, hold on.
What's his name?
You gotta get you Alex Jones' voice, bro.
No, just you wait, Rune. So that's I first discovered the Hollow Earth thing then. Which again, and I've been watching Alex Jones since I was probably around that age. And there was this guy named Dr. Beard, like the hair on your face, I swear to God. He was trying to fund an expedition to Antarctica to go into the portal, to go into the Hollow Earth. And me and a buddy of mine were legitimately trying to sign up, but the expedition didn't get enough funding and it fell through, so we didn't get to go.
Oh God.
So let's of course my favorite little bit of fan service they implanted in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was Robotnik promising to tell Knuckles,
I'll show you the way.
He knows I'll show you the way. Because I didn't catch it when I first watched it. And I love it now that I've watched it a second time.
I mean, it's for the Queen.
No, Chad, the Hollow Earth, that's where the lizards and the interdimensional pedophile psychic vampires live, and the UFOs that we see flying around are their ships coming out of the hollow earth to observe human life. That's what's going on right now. They're monitoring us because
That's not even.
nuclear.
That's not even.
Hold on. No, shut up. This is
tonight on Alex Jones.
I'm not saying this. This is what the other people are saying. The ships are the lizard people inside the hollow earth coming out to observe humanity because now we have nuclear arms and they're afraid we're going to destroy the surface of the planet and it's going to fuck up the inside of the earth, and they want to keep us down. They want to control us. They don't want us to leave Earth because we're their life source. They feed on us. That's what abductions are. And they need us here on the surface. And they need us to be alive. That's why they're saying here monitoring us. The UFOs, they go around nuclear sites all the time. They turn shit off just to say, hey, fuck you, we can turn off your nukes.
This is the greatest show we've ever done. Oh my God.
And the federal government and the FBI, they're just part of the Hollow Earth conspiracy. They're just leaving it. They're just leaving it up. They're leaving it up to the glue in the darks.
No, church. It goes even farther than that.
Who's church?
And Australia.
Call me Mr. Jones.
Australia, right? Australia's not real. That's a fed.
No.
New
Zealand.
No, it's
New Zealand is the theory because New Zealand's off of most maps.
No, Australia isn't real. It's a fed compound in Ohio. Because come on, think about it. It's a country that lost 2 wars to flightless birds.
They also lost a war to rabbits.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't
and
exist.
mice.
It's all fake. Australia doesn't exist. That's just a plant to keep us distracted because that's the main portal. It's not Antarctica and up in the North Pole. It's Australia. That's where the portal to the Hollow Earth is. But they don't want people going.
So now we have a perfect segue line for Moon Knight.
I'm
this
not
is
done.
perfect segue into Moon Knight.
Here's the perfect segue for Moon Knight, and that's why they faked the moon landing is to keep us distracted, looking up instead of looking down, where Australia should be. Because the moon. Hold on, the moon only comes out at night, right? It takes 3 days to get to the moon. If you don't time that perfectly, the moon won't be there, and you'll land on the sun. All right,
and they killed Stanley. And they killed Stanley Kubrick for trying to tell us about it in The Shining.
No, he shot himself twice in the back of the head.
Oh my!
God. We do need to do a conspiracy show radio. I think that could be fun.
Oh man!
But we would have to advertise YouTube that this is all for comedy.
I concern myself that I can say all this so seriously off the top of my head sometimes.
I knew World of Darkness would work for you, Ayrton, and this is why.
I mean, I was going to comment on the fact that you didn't bring Brill in.
I'm just going to point out that when Ayrton posts his manifesto, I will be having it published and selling copies.
Okay, Ayrton, are you going to shoot 10 people in a restaurant? Is that the plan?
No.
No, it was a grocery store, but no, that's not. That's
you
not
guys knock it off. I literally just had to fill out a 4473. Stop it.
Did you explain on that 4473 how unbreaded you were?
But I really need to stop tagging public officials and federal agencies and calling them gay and retarded on Twitter. I really, because I get researched every single time. Every single time I do an FBI background check.
What did you mean when you called the FBI gay? Well, there are a bunch of F slurs.
Yeah, I'm an FBI informant. I inform them that they are gay.
Church, Wandaverse of Madness has taught us the term is breeders.
So Rune Ayrton,
I don't even know why I come to these things anymore.
So Rune Ayrton, tell us about Moon Knight and why they didn't have them yelling about Dracula.
I don't want to.
Egyptians was kings. Moon Knight over.
That was something I was talking to Rune about. Is that why didn't they just have him in his boxer shorts yelling about Dracula owing him $20?
Right?
Now that's the kind of fan service they needed.
I actively said that it would have been very good planning when they were talking about how Moon Knight is crazy to just have like a Family Guy level cutaway gag with Moon Knight in the cape and boxer shorts and nothing else, and like a fifth of Jack screaming at the top of his lungs for Dracula to come out and give him his $20. It would have worked.
It would have worked. Now, here's the other funny part about Moon Knight memes that should have been brought into the show. Ketamine is now being researched as a treatment for depression and mental illness. So Moon Knight wanting ketamine in the memes is actually Moon Knight trying to get medicine to help himself.
And nobody will give it to him because the rest of the Marvel Universe doesn't understand mental illness. Okay, so here's the thing. We've talked before about the idea that Oscar Isaacs is an amazing actor. Okay? And he's a producer on this thing. Okay? He had a hand in it. Right? And that's the thing, is that I think there was a dream of a show.
The dream was for Oscar Isaac to wander around the streets of New York asking that big nerd Dracula where his money was.
I mean, here's the thing. I can see Oscar Isaac doing it. I can see him having that conversation in the writer's room going, hey, look, can I just like be on the streets of New York in my shorts screaming about Dracula? He would do it. I think there was a vision of an idea of Moon Knight as this disassociative, globe-trotting, Indiana Jones-style adventure with a superhero that could have worked. Right?
Officer, you don't understand. I have to get to that van. Dracula's in there and he still owes me money.
Right. Because it's funny, now that Moon Knight is over, there are people who are trying to criticize the ending, despite the ending being the one piece in the puzzle that had been missing the entire series that I was mad about.
What do you mean? The ending was so stupid.
No, the ending
Someone's hacking the system. But who? Moon Knight? Where's my goddamn money? Nobody owes you money, you drunk, crazy asshole. Dracula isn't even on the Avengers, so stop calling.
Wait, Dracula isn't an Avenger? That lying fuck. You know, this is going to happen. Church, you know, that's what's going to happen. We're going to end up playing Marvel Heroic Role-Playing, and one of us is going to end up being Moon Knight, and it's going to be Moon Knight from the memes. It's going to be Meme Night.
So hold up. This sounds like a great campaign idea that we get all the Marvel superheroes who are most memeable together.
Okay. So somebody's got to play Deadpool. Somebody's got to play Moon Knight. And who else?
I mean, you got Wolverine always pining over Jean Grey being cuckolded by Scott Summers. That's
not the quality of meme we're talking about.
No, it works. It works because if you get Spider-Man and Wolverine hate each other, right?
Deadpool and Wolverine hate each other.
They also hate each other.
Wolverine hates Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks up to Wolverine.
No, Wolverine and Spider-Man. No. Wolverine and all right. Let me clarify because we got to talk about which Spider-Man we're talking about. Peter Parker and Wolverine hate each other.
Peter Parker, yes, but when he's Spider-Man, he looks up to Wolverine as a hero.
No,
Wolverine tricked him into murdering his ex-girlfriend.
Also, Wolverine is responsible for Peter Parker and Wolverine ending up in prehistory as cavemen, fucking up history and causing Wolverine to give rise to an entire culture of warrior monkey people. Because Wolverine wouldn't leave well enough a fucking alone while Peter Parker tried to build a time machine out of available parts.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even remember why Dracula owes me money. But a guy's got to live by a code, you know?
All these characters... All of these characters in this meme core idea all have a relationship to Spider-Man. He's the glue that holds them together.
Well, you know what the name of this chronicle is then. The name of this campaign is Into the Memeverse. The Memeverse of madness.
No. Okay. So Rune, I had this question in my head for you from the start of watching Moon Knight. How did you like the way they handled like the alternate personalities literally being like DID instead of just like different cover personalities that he used in the original?
No. The thing about Moon Knight in comics, okay, is that originally they may have been different cover identities, okay, but whether by the course of his extremely violent lifestyle, predisposition, or having an insane deity in his fucking brain that broke it, that'll give you PTSD in a heartbeat. His cover identities are separate identities. I just wish that instead of this Indiana Jones style story that they went with, they had instead been like, you know what, we're going to make a horror series. We're going to call it Moon Knight. We're going to emphasize the very scary personalities that are Mark Spector. Because the problem isn't that the end of the series sucked. I liked that scene. The problem is that every time they had a switch to something they didn't want to reveal, even though it was a thematic choice, it was also, hi, this is a G-rated TV show. We can't show you the hyper violence that is Moon Knight that everyone came to see. Because the fact of the matter is not that Jake Lockley's too violent, it's not that Mark Spector's too violent, and it's not that Bruce Wayne isn't violent enough. It's that Mark Spector, no matter what his personality is, likes what he does and does it really well. That's the thing. Like, everyone's like, well, Moon Knight is Batman. No, Bruce Wayne, actual Batman, doesn't want to be Batman. He does Batman as a duty, and he would actually prefer not to have to hurt people.
Well, Mark Spector likes fucking people up.
Mark Spector.
That was before Tom King became. That was before Tom King became involved in Batman. Now he wants to be Batman so he can kill himself.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Tom King.
Right, but this still leads to Moon Knight loves the opportunity to do what he's good at, and what he's good at is fucking people up, and now he's fucking people up for his own amusement with the permission of a god.
This is now a stream where I'm just listening to you people yell while I fucking watch out of context Moon Knight.
No, Church, me and Rune actually agree on this one for once.
I can't tell because are you an angel? Yeah, sure, whatever. You got any ketamine?
Poor Moon Knight was just trying to get some medicine to help him with his mental illness.
Church society, in all of its permutations, going back to prehistory, was a development towards the apex of creation, which is ketamine. So there you are, prehistory. There's the dude. There's the burning bush. The angel appears and is like, "Fear not." Got any ketamine?
And always make sure you get your ketamine and your $20.
So do we talk about the samples of anti-fan surface that have bubbled across the desk?
We haven't actually had a chance to talk about Moon Knight because we've been fucking around too much.
Yeah, there's a couple more things I want to talk about with Moon Knight.
The actual problem with Moon Knight is nothing to do with Oscar Isaac. It's everything around him that it doesn't need to be. Because Oscar Isaac,
I was actually shocked how well he did switching between Mark and Steven.
Well, because
I did not mind the actual actor either in the episode that I saw. I just couldn't keep up with what the fuck was going on.
But the thing is that Oscar Isaacs and his name just on the back of my head, the guy playing Harrow, are on the top of their game. Ethan Hawke. They're fucking great, right?
They're both method boys.
But first we took Mark Spector's girlfriend, who was a blonde canonically, and we made her a dark-haired Egyptian, maybe?
She was Egyptian.
Right. For some reason. And then we made her an action girl, Laura Croft, which is not that character's purpose in the Mark Spector narrative, because she's supposed to be one of his grounds to reality, right? She's supposed to be a normie.
Well,
right?
And can you explain why she's the avatar of a hippo goddess and then got wings?
I
was so confused.
Well, no, that goddess in depiction has wings.
But why is it a hippo?
Because
Egyptians
are things in Egypt.
The thing is that structure
stop smoking crack.
Here's the problem is that structure of story said we don't have enough avatars to fight this problem. It's like, well, wait a minute, you're gods. You pick avatars all the fucking time. You're a room full of goddamn avatars. You're telling me none of your avatars have fighting magic?
Yeah.
But and all these people who just put Khonshu in a box just fall over and fucking die. So we need Hippo Girl to save the day.
Well, and why is it that Khonshu, alligator person, and hippo lady, why are they the only ones who have avatars that are like their own beings with their own powers?
Right.
And the rest of the avatars like talk as the gods to the other ones. That made no sense to me.
I think the real problem with Moon Knight, if you boil it down, we're talking reductive. Get rid of all the fat, all the.
I love being reductive. Please. Okay, you're turning me on right now.
Is literally the mouse and the purse strings. They did not want to give them enough money for what that show needed.
No.
No, it's 100% true.
No, that's not what I mean.
The first 3 episodes are nothing but Mark Spector waving in the air at invisible monsters that are partially computer generated. Right. And then the last part of that series is a kaiju battle, which is not Moon Knight at all. Right. And it's like, and then, the best version of that Moon Knight fight that I have seen is somebody went in and they added lightsabers to everything. Okay. And it's cute, but it still begs the question of, this is a Moon Knight show and I'm watching Moon Knight and a very special girlfriend fight bad guys. That's not Moon Knight. That's a fucking Avengers fight. Moon Knight should never have been in the Avengers. Never. He doesn't work well in the Avengers. They never stick. The only reason that Captain America ever wanted him in the Avengers was to keep an eye on him because he's a dangerously unhinged individual who hurts people for fun.
He's batshit crazy.
So the reason they made Hippo Girl into an action girl is because it's a corporate mandate from Disney that they need more female heroes to do what men do. Only better because they're women.
Well, with that, I do want to mention that I actually don't dislike Tourette. That character was fun when it was a delusion. When it was in Duat, I was okay with it.
Yeah,
because I really did laugh out loud at that episode where when he opens the door, there's the hippo-headed person, and they both scream and she screams. Yeah. That's great. That was fucking great. And then the next episode,
good.
And then the next episode, it starts talking and it has this cute little girl voice, not like this deep, hippo voice. It's like, oh, that's lovely. But then they didn't leave it alone. They wouldn't just let that character sit there and be a color to make Duat interesting. They had to include it in all the reality shit where it doesn't belong, and it's like, fuck this.
Right, like at first they made her like almost like a South London chick who's like upper middle class, who's trying to work like a working class job and hasn't quite got the hang of it after 4,000 years. It was It was kind of endearing for like 5 minutes. Then
it's kind of adorable.
Yeah,
but that's indeed a problem, not just in Marvel, but with like the totality of the Hollywood system right now.
Yeah,
because they're dumb people.
And it's like, oh look, this is something good we accidentally happened into. You know what's going to be better than good? More of it. And no one believes anymore that less is more, right? Like it never occurred to them. It's like, if we don't add more Hippo Woman, then if we do another season, people might really, really want Hippo Woman, and maybe we could stretch that out and like spoon feed them Hippo Woman for 6 years.
It's like they forgot the quote: "Brevity is the soul of wit."
Imagine that.
I mean, these people wouldn't know wit if it bit them in the behind.
Well, I mean, that's why my Twitter profile, I tell chicks up front that I have the world's largest micro penis and I'm the world's okayest lover. You know, brevity
Good.
is the soul of wit.
Unbreaded.
Touchdown.
On paper?
Unbreaded.
Jones, we talk about Moon Knight and ketamine.
So
You got some?
No.
So, do you want to segue into a cavalcade of anti-fan service? Do we want to start with the first gay pride parade in Asgard?
Actually, I knew you were. I knew you were going to want to comment on this because you want to hear my outrage about it. But I'm going to horrify you with something. I'm not actually that mad. I don't give a shit.
Well, no. I mean, it's designed to generate anger in people who aren't, properly seared with rage.
Well, but here's the thing. The reason I don't care, right, is because Scandinavian culture doesn't have a problem with homosexuality. Scandinavian culture.
But they also don't have pride in it either. They just don't give a shit.
No, it's not that either. Scandinavian culture, similar to Roman culture, is about power dynamics. Were you on top? Are you the receiver or are you the giver?
Yeah,
right?
The concept of heterosexuality and homosexuality as we view it today is a byproduct of the industrial age.
Right. So
postmodernism.
It's like, okay, Asgard has a pride event. So the gays are coming out and saying, we're gay, we're fucking people. It's like, great. Everybody who actually bends over is a coward. Everybody who stuffs it is a badass. Good job.
Well,
you haven't actually broken the social norms.
That's what I've always said in those arguments where people are like, "Oh, what if your kid came out as gay?" I was like, as long as he's the one doing the fucking, I don't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, Loki was pretty badass for taking the horse, though.
Right.
But that's the thing, is that it wasn't just that he took a horse stick, right, or that he gave birth to a horse. It was that he took the hit for the Aesir. And they were like, good on you, buddy. You saved our ass. We don't have to give the goddess of beauty and magic to a fucking giant. Good job.
Yeah, it was more out of necessity. Like, when I become an apocalyptic warlord in the next 10 years, if I tell one of my soldiers, like, hey, you have to go take that giant black dude's cock, so we can form an alliance because he thinks you got a pretty mouth, and he doesn't. I'm gonna commend him. I'll give him a gold medal or something.
I gotta break in here real quick. Somebody just sent me a DM, and it's regarding the Buffalo thing.
Okay.
I know that's not a main topic of conversation, but there are comparisons, and literally some of the manifesto released with this shooting is copy and pasted word for word verbatim from the 2019 New Zealand shooting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He actually says he was inspired by that guy.
Inspired by that guy is one thing, but first off, if you're gonna crack, and this is just me, this is just me looking at a similar situation. If you're gonna crack and break down and do something like this, you're not gonna take the time to sit down and write 180 pages before you do it.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. He unoriginality should not surprise anyone.
You're either gonna sit down and write 800 pages of the Gospel of Matthew Harris, or you don't write anything at all.
But
you're
talking about somebody who.
Well,
go ahead.
You go ahead, Rune.
What I wanted to say, which is but on the previous subject, real quick, and maybe it's sort of a palate cleanser for this unpleasantness, is now what we really want is just like we want Moon Knight to be, running around in a cape and boxer shorts, screaming about Dracula and his $20. I'd really like a scene where Tom Hiddleston's getting razzed by some guy and looks them dead in the eye and says, "I fucked a horse, have you?"
Well, it would be I got fucked by a horse.
Wait, when did we start talking about St. Kuger?
Oh, that's the deep lore there.
Hey, Ayrton, you weren't there. We don't know how many times you went rounds with the horse, and we don't know how many times and what acts they did with the horse. We just know it involved Loki ending up pregnant. Which, quite frankly, means he doesn't need to understand what it is to be a woman. He's already been there.
No.
Well, here's the thing, though. Loki's a shapeshifter. He could have at least shapeshifted into a horse.
Yeah,
he did.
no, absolutely.
I mean, he did.
But
well, then it's fine.
Rune, there's an allegation that an internet personality had sex with a horse as a meme.
Well, there's the actual reality that a dude in Washington State had sex with a horse and died from it.
No, it's not an allegation. Shank literally has talked about bestiality as an actual thing. It's not a meme.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about a guy who actually got
you're talking about
to death by a horse. It's why it was finally declared.
We've all seen it.
It's why it was finally declared illegal in my state, which tells you a lot about Washington State. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But let's talk.
I can't carry a fucking handgun without a license. But it took.
In Washington State,
7 years ago, getting fucked by a horse and dying to make that illegal.
Well, hold up. In Washington State, you can get a gun without a permit.
No, I can't carry it. They don't.
No, you can.
No, they don't have constitutional carry in Washington.
Right, but they don't have a state law saying you can't carry.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They have a very open gun laws there.
Listeners to the internet.
But let's talk about somebody who needs a manifesto, and that's Cortana after what happened in the recent Halo.
Well, I mean, if she goes insane like that setting supposedly argues all AIs eventually do, that could be part of her manifesto is my rage at the fact that my human tucked me.
Sorry, real quick. Larry, you do need a concealed pistol license to carry a gun.
There are courts in Washington State that have said you don't. Now, the courts that said you do are all in Seattle.
I'm on the Washington State website and says you need a CPL, a concealed pistol license, to be able to carry one.
Yeah, but I'll talk to you about that after the show. There have been court cases where local courts in other parts of the state are like, no, F that, that's stupid.
All right.
But this year, regardless, the Halo series is bad. And it's made by people who don't like the game, never watched the game, aren't familiar with the game.
Real quick. So, my video game knowledge is like GoldenEye N64.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Halo just a space shooting game? Like, is there a story you can make into a TV show?
Yes,
kinda. But there's all the games, which are they're up to 8 now or 9.
To briefly answer that question, yes, there is a story mode, Ayrton.
Also, there are 9 games. There's a whole bunch of books. They're comic books,
and they and really the lore didn't start getting deep until the 3rd game.
Yeah,
it's one of those occasions where they want you to read ancillary materials, because don't you want to read their novel series? And then believe
get fucked. If I have to read or look up or watch extra shit to understand your work, whether it's a game or a movie or whatever,
well, actually, you don't need it. You're a terrible
writer. You're a terrible writer.
You don't actually need it to understand that. It's all stuff that you plug in to make the experience more enriching. So they decided to not involve any of that. They also decided to not involve any of the real content for the game, per se. And they recast the actor because they needed someone who they could show the face of. And the literal thing that everybody likes about Master Chief is you don't see his face. And for some reason, he had sex because in the lore of the game, the Spartans aren't allowed to have sex. They're chemically castrated because they're super soldiers, and you don't want your super soldiers breeding and making super soldier babies. And
but Larry, it's a TV show in current year television that doesn't use the Nielsen's. They gotta have their Game of Thrones titties.
Exactly. And also. Master Chief Game of Thrones titties.
I was Snapchatting a chick and I heard titties. Well.
But I think this is all a subtle jab on the incels. That they're saying that the other Spartans are incels because they haven't gotten laid. And that Master Chief's a good one because he had sex with a woman.
Yeah, but having sex with a woman is gay.
So it's a direct attack on America first.
And you have to inspect couches and beds for cum.
Right, with your white helmet.
Yeah. And we've just been told that's breeder propaganda.
Exactly. So I have a question. Do we want to do a deep dive with the whole Percy Jackson stuff? Because that's another case of anti-fan service.
Okay, what the fuck
I don't know any fucking thing about Percy Jackson.
Well, you're in luck. Rune knows a lot about it, and I know enough, and I know about some of the deep lore that's going in. So Rick Riordan.
I'm feeling submissive and breedable for Percy Jackson lore at the moment, so please insert it.
So
us.
Rick Riordan was a guy who wrote a book because his son had extreme dyslexia.
Very bred.
And he decided that he was going to write his book as a Harry Potter ripoff involving Greek mythology, and that was very successful.
Harry Potter was already a Star Wars ripoff.
Kind of, but not really.
No, Harry Potter's a ripoff of a thing called The Worst Witch, but everyone doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Is The Worst Witch a ripoff of Star Wars?
No, The Worst Witch is actually an original work that's original.
So The Worst Witch and Star Wars is what Harry Potter ripped off.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But anyway, so Rick Riordan decided to rip off Harry Potter, make a book for his kid, and it had sold very well, which is very commendable. And Rick also is extremely left-wing in his politics, to the point that in his most current series of works, there's a black Muslim who's part of the Asgardian pantheon who convinced the Asgardians that Allah created them all, and Allah is the one who
Wait. Hold on. You're telling me that Odin, the most jealous of all fathers, the guy that makes Zeus look like a fucking saint, didn't just flat out murder this person?
No, he did not. Also, that's
all bullshit then.
He was also involved in making a golem whose first words were, "My name is Pottery Barn, and my pronouns are they, them."
My pronouns are suck my cock.
So, Rick Riordan got a movie series made, and the movie series was made involving Chris Columbus as an executive producer. And Chris Columbus didn't make age-appropriate characters, which the fans at the time objected to, but Rick Riordan had a very good reason. 12 and 13-year-olds doing kung fu wire work action would look really stupid. Having kids who were like 17, 18, 19 doing that would look considerably less stupid. And the studio agreed. And it was a passable movie series. It wasn't great. It wasn't, exceptional. It was passable. So we fast forward to the year of the Coof 2020. There's this movie called Artemis Fowl that was foul and terrible and bad, where they take everything good about Artemis Fowl and not use it because that's counter to being Disney.
There was this film called Artemis Fouled.
Yes, it was bad. And so they said,
I'll foul your Artemis.
And then Disney said, hey, wait a minute, we bought Fox, and Fox has a Harry Potter ripoff, and we want a Harry Potter ripoff. And they hired Rick to be one of the senior producers. And Disney wants to make a woke product. Rick wants to make a woke product. And so they cast a black chick as the lead female protagonist in the series. And they did a second race swap of the sidekick character, Grover. He was originally a Ron Weasley ripoff, and then they made him Black Ron Weasley ripoff. And now he's Indian Ron Weasley ripoff.
Dot or Feather?
Dot.
Okay.
And this is all set in America.
Oh, shit.
Rena. Oh, hey, Rena.
I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah. We're all proud of you, Rena.
Black Rhapsody funded. Woo!
Funded right away. Rena did good work on promoting her book. And so, yeah. And the fans were like going but Rick, you described the character as a blonde-haired, Valley Girl-looking chick. So why is it black? And he said, well, what do you mean, why is it black? Why are you so racist? And that was the thing that happened.
Actually, let me roll it back real quick. Let's take a minute and talk about Black Rhapsody funding in just a couple of days.
Absolutely.
This woman had put more time and effort into advertising and promoting her campaign and doing something that people who apparently have been industry professionals and been involved in this industry for decades couldn't fucking manage. So let's take a longer second to applaud the idea that someone did something right, and the people who are quote unquote pros need to get their shit together. I'm gonna go back to finishing what I was doing.
So
I think we're all on board.
We're all on board.
No,
we're all on board.
She hit the grind hard. It was fucking impressive.
I mean,
unfortunately, every single time she was on another show, I was at work.
Well, that's the thing. How many times? let's estimate. How many times did you say Rena came to our Twitter chat to tell us, "Hey guys, come support me on our thing"? And my mom's been in and out of the hospital. That's where I've been busy. But like 12?
Oh no,
more than 12. Way more than 12.
Like 20?
No, like 47. She's been doing this for months.
Yeah, when they talk about people hitting the grindstone, they're talking about Miss Rena and Black Rhapsody.
Yeah,
she did a good job.
Which I am so excited to back that after I pay some bills this week, and possibly buy some ammo
and some ketamine.
Okay, because ammo is hard to find. Yeah,
it's not hard to find. It's just expensive as shit.
Wait a minute, Larry.
Right now.
Larry, if Moon Knight is to be believed, ketamine is hard to find.
I mean, I could get both. Either way,
But so we're all proud of Miss Rena because I've not seen anybody really put in that much effort to get a book off the ground. I've seen a lot of people get near that level of effort, but she really worked hard.
Oh yeah. But no, yeah, fucking great on you for getting that backed already. That's awesome.
So back to the thing. So the problem with casting a black character isn't that they cast a black character because that's what Rick wants as his politics. That's what Disney wants as their politics. The problem is Annabeth Chase had to get over the fact that I look like the blonde bimbo, but I'm super tough and I'm super smart. And that was the thing her character had to go through, called a character arc. Characters should have those, or else we won't care about them.
Wait, what do you mean? What's a character arc?
It's when your character starts one place and you go on a journey, and on that journey you learn some stuff, you grow, you become a better person.
It's that thing you don't. No. It's that thing you don't get in Secret Wars, and you don't get from Alan Moore.
You need to make that joke again later when the church is actually listening.
I know, right?
But yeah, it's the thing that was missing in things like Doc Strange we were talking about earlier. That there wasn't really a character arc for any of the characters, and that was a bad thing. And Sonic the Hedgehog had a character arc, made me care about Sonic, made me care about Tails. Tails had to get over some stuff, become a better person, and he did.
Because I haven't seen the movie, I have to ask: Did Baby Knuckles have an arc? Did they make you care about Baby Knuckles?
Well, Baby Knuckles, became angsty Knuckles, but he went through an emotional journey as well, and he came out a better person, and he got a new family.
And learn how to hit people to make himself feel better.
Well, I mean, he knew how to hit people before he emotionally felt better.
And that's the origin of Moon Knight.
But yeah. So the problem in this whole thing is that you're changing fundamental aspects of the character that are tied to the character's story arc. So instead of her struggling with her identity, she's just good at everything and wins all the time. That makes her a terrible
Also,
character.
Church is always listening, even when he walks away.
I see. Were you in fact silently raging that I had spoken ill of your baby?
No, I'm used to it by now because I've been dealing with
Okay.
Ayrton for going on 4 years.
Okay.
It's a running gag at this point. But
I thought it was
another shot.
How dare you? It's our 3-year anniversary.
I mean, I'm told Ayrton's micro penis is pretty funny to look at, but
Hey, it's the world's largest micro penis.
that doesn't mean it's not
It's
amusing.
at least 2.5 centimeters.
But the bigger problem with the whole Rick Riordan thing is that it's a marketing gimmick. We've all seen this since Ghostbusters a whole bunch of times. We know it's a marketing gimmick. We've seen it in comics since Female Thor. And no one cares anymore about the marketing gimmick.
Well, there's that, but I now have figured out why you were calling me out, and that's the massive web of hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm. You mean the guy who says you're not allowed to do books about things that aren't your ethnic group, who has a main character who's black and Muslim and gay, and he's none of those things in the Norse mythology?
So
Well,
does that
we
mean
don't know that he's not gay.
Well, no, let me explain. So Rick Riordan has a foundation for young authors, which is great. We want more authors. We want more kids getting into being writers.
Wait, no. We want more talented and kids that are good at writing.
Well, you got to start the
writing and being
somewhere.
authors.
Sure.
I don't give a shit if they're young. They have to be good. They can get fucked. Otherwise,
well, the next facet is that the intent is to get more multivarious authors from other cultures. So basically, get African authors exposure, get Asian authors exposure, get Islander or Indigenous peoples authors exposure, and that's good.
No, real quick, Rune.
Yeah.
Why is that inherently good? Like, this is I'm not shitposting. This is a legitimate question. If they're not writing good stories, why is that inherently good?
Well,
to have that
no.
Let me finish.
You already asked the question.
No, I
already have
done.
the answer for you.
Why is it inherently good that there are all these ethnicities?
Right. The problem, no. So you are conflating two things, and you're adding a qualifier. Okay, nobody said this is about specifically ethnicities.
No, that's what you just said.
Shut the fuck up.
Hold
nobody
up.
said that this was about that they are intrinsically better. If I'm a little kid in the Congo who can write, but I don't have exposure to get published because I live in the fucking Congo and I'm hiding from warlords, then the potential that somebody out there is like, hey kid, you write pretty good. Do you want some opportunities to get your words out there? That's a good, no matter who the fuck you are.
No, but hold on.
Hold up.
That's not. No, hold on. That's not what I said, though. I didn't say people
right,
were
but
they were better. I was saying, why is it necessarily good? Just because.
Let's wind back for a moment. Let's wind back for a moment first.
I don't want to. I want to fight with Rune.
Well, no. I would have added in my defense of the other side. So first, when it comes to many of these ethnic groups, many of them don't write stories down because culturally that wasn't a thing you did. Like the Irish. Irish didn't write down stories. Catholics had to write down their version of the Irish stories.
Soleil.
The Old Norse sagas weren't written down by the original people who worshiped the old gods. They were written down by their Catholic descendants. So it is good for people, when they're still alive, to write down their own stories within their own cultural context. That is good. And also, how many ancient Rome movies have you seen or heard about?
2.
How many Alexander the Great movies have you heard about?
None.
Well, I mean, there's been at least 2 in your lifetime.
There's at least the one called Alexander, for fuck's sake.
I only watch movies for this show.
Okay, fair enough. So there are lots of movies about, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar. You know who there's only been really two things about? Shaka Zulu, the guy who had warriors with bladed weapons and leather armor, and they defeated the British army with guns.
The movie Shaka and the movie Zulu.
I want a movie about like Yakub.
Genghis Khan has had like 3 movies. Absolutely.
And one of them unfortunately killed John Wayne.
But that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Letting you arse-slurs fight it out. I've uncovered that there is an Indiegogo of a Moon Knight clone coming out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what's it called?
I just put the image up. Reaper Destroyer.
Oh, sweet. I gotta look at that.
But
so Larry, I'll send the link in the private chat.
Nice.
So anyway, back to the argument.
Larry, so Larry, my point is, I'm totally on board with preserving and writing oral cultural traditions for anthropological historical reasons. No, my point is, why is it a quote good thing that a writer for a comic book or pop culture or something that's not
well, we're
hold on, that's not significant in any way except to us nerds that enjoy reading it? Why does it matter if they're Asian, if they're an Asian midget stripper with one leg? I don't give a shit. If you're a shit writer, fuck off. If you're a good writer, sure, write a fucking story.
Hold up. So to get to good writers, you have to filter them out. You have to get a pipeline.
Right.
And to get good writers...
Which goes to my gatekeeping argument from like 2 months ago, but continue.
Yeah. And to get good authors who are writing in narratives that are from peoples who don't have their narratives in the central focus of stories, or even being discussed in the focus of stories, means you have to get a lot more of them in there. So like at the meta level, is there a lot of people whose stories just never got told because they didn't write these things down, and the people who did the writing, TVs, the movies, the comic books, didn't really know about them.
Here's the thing, though, and not to interrupt you, but here's the thing: who fucking cares? Like, you don't deserve to have your story told.
Well, hold up. We haven't even gotten to that point of the discussion. We haven't gotten to that point of the discussion yet.
Not only is that a different thing, but you don't get to make that decision, Church.
I don't get to make that decision, but here's the thing: like, if your story hasn't been told, maybe it's not a good fucking story.
No, technically,
because we live in a world where all the stories have been told.
We do get to make that decision.
Well, no.
We're the one purchising the product. So if your story sucks and we don't like it, your story doesn't get told.
Look, both of you shut the fuck up. Look, okay? You live in the Western world. You have access to the Bible. Somebody says, I want to bring you the Quran. You say, oh, we don't need that shit here, right? You don't get to say the Quran has no cultural significance to anyone anywhere just because you don't have it and you don't like it.
That's an invalid argument.
Muslim
is the largest religion in the fucking world. So that's an invalid argument.
The economy of scale doesn't matter. That's what you just said. That's what you just supported.
Guys,
No, Larry, hold on. That's not what I said. I said if your story sucks and you didn't.
By whose metric, Ayrton? Who says it sucks?
By the people, don't buy it.
Do you decide what sucks?
No.
Don't.
No, that's not. No, Rune, hold on. You shut
consumers
the fuck up.
and all do.
If people don't buy it and or back it, then your story sucks and you should fuck off. It has nothing to do with your skin color
So you just said
background.
kids in the Congo who are writing fiction that could be amazing should fucking die.
If it's not good, yes, they should fuck off.
Get the fuck out of the Congo, asshole.
I don't give a shit if they live in the Congo.
Everybody take a second, calm down.
I don't
take
care.
a break. Both of you shut the fuck up.
Jesus.
Let me just take a second and say, everybody take a deep breath. It's not that fucking crucial.
No, it's not.
Secondly, we're conflating different things here, Rune. You're talking about people who don't have access to meme. while Ayrton is talking about people who have access to means and who are putting out shoddy work. These are two different arguments that are being conflated with one another.
But
I'm trying to build a road.
The thing is, and we're trying to get past this bullshit, is that
we can't just give memes to people in the Congo to have their work published to the masses.
If you don't know where the fuck it's going, then you can't have context on what's being said.
Hold up. God damn it, hold up.
All right?
So here's the thing.
We're not talking about the end product. We're talking about Rick Riordan's fund, what it does. And you don't know what it does yet because we're not there yet. Yeah, we haven't even gotten into that part of the road.
I'm actually curious about what Larry has to say to try and.
So let's. So here's building a road. You gotta start your pipeline. You've gotta feign your talent. Now there are gonna be people who are gonna be saying, "Hey, you know what? This story about Shango. Shango's got a kind of crazy story. He was a guy who got hung, kind of like Odin, and then he got struck by lightning, and then he got weird lightning powers, and then he just murdered his whole family because they betrayed him,
like Chris Benoit."
No, he murdered them. He murdered them with lightning.
It's trying to make everybody laugh. You fuck.
All right. So basically, what somebody who would be a gatekeeper, who may even be, dare I say it, a white gatekeeper, says, this narrative is interesting. These characters are interesting, but this storytelling style is raw. And it's not necessarily digestible for the broader global audience. Maybe we need to take people who are telling these interesting stories that are different, that are raw, that are unrefined, and help them refine them in a way that they are palatable and marketable to the global audience. Because that's how cosmopolitan global audiences of people in Toadsuck, Arkansas are eating sushi today. It's because somebody said, hey, this Japanese fish thing, it tastes pretty good. I bet if we take it to America and kind of Americanize it up a bit, people like it.
It's why the most successful food trucks in America are burrito trucks.
Right. Exactly. So it's the same kind of thing. So it's important to get people at the start of the pipeline to get you burrito trucks there.
Right. But here's the thing,
I'm not denying. Hold
on, Ayrton, give me a minute.
All right.
Here's the thing, Rune. There are underprivileged people in the trailer park that I grew up in that deserve any kind of representation just as much as someone of color or of lower means because of their ethnicity.
You're absolutely
that
right.
aren't getting it because they're white and they have white privilege.
No.
That's not why they're not getting it. That's not why they're not getting it, though. It's nepotism. The creative industry was always nepotistic, but it's been getting more and more nepotistic of late.
No, see, that's why you have to wait till the end of this problem, because you see, the base thesis of Rick Riordan's fund is not bad. Let's get young and new authors out there. The bad that makes it not acceptable, the bad that makes you and me actually agree, right, is that Rick Riordan's opinion in text, okay, is that this fund is only for people of given cultures to tell stories of their given culture, i.e.,
correct.
A little kid from the Congo can only
talk about little kids from the Congos,
about Congolese mythology,
or about that time the Belgian cut off all their hands.
Right. He didn't say that I couldn't write fiction in his fund if I was a young author, but he said I can only write fiction about my culture, which means I can do fucking Johnny Appleseed, I can maybe do Gaelic, I can maybe do Norse, but if I say, hey, I really like African indigenous mythological structures.
Rune, you're a white American. Have you not heard the argument these people want to make? We have no culture.
Oh, I know.
Well, they're wrong.
And that's why Rick Riordan's wrong, and that's why this is bullshit. And when I say the hypocrisy is that the man has a fund that only people of given ethnicities can participate in certain ethnicities, but he has no problem if a dark-skinned individual plays a white character in his media, because that's where his money come from.
To be fair, I would write a story about the IRA fucking up the British, you know.
Well, yeah. I'm totally the kind of guy that would do a story about fairies fighting the English. But that's not the point. The point is that I don't like the idea of a fund that says I can only write that.
Yeah.
Right, but what do you do when you get somebody like me who's German and Native American in culture? Like,
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Hitler meets the Cherokee.
No, that's the thing. In Rick Riordan's thing, the argument is
yes, Church, write that story. I need to see this.
And that's the thing, is that in Rick Riordan's thing, you can only write things about, like, Brothers Grimm or Native American mythology. You're not allowed to write anybody else's stuff or how other people's stuff has influenced you, because you can't know, you white, and that's fucking garbage.
Right.
And but you know why else is garbage? It's this sort of thinking would prevent us from having a character like Sho'nuff, the Shogun of Harlem, or Bruce Lee.
Sho'nuff was like the best villain next to Eddie Arcadian. Like Eddie Arcadian was a true villain. Sho'nuff at least had a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Sho'nuff at least had an ethos.
Yeah. Normally, Larry, I'd call that shit posty and scoff at it. But no, you were 100% right. The African American community, we're gonna call it a community for the moment, has
it is a community, because the African American community has its own culture.
I'm just saying, I'm not using buzzwords. I'm just using a term.
Right. No.
They've embraced Asiatic
Kung Fu culture,
especially
and
Japanese
whatnot.
martial arts culture,
Well,
going all the way
Wu-Tang
back
Clan.
to the 70s as a mechanism for self-empowerment. And by the logic of Rick Riordan, a white man, they're not allowed to do that because that's appropriation.
Well, no, it's okay for them to do it because they're on the progressive stack run.
Oh, right. No, I always forget about the stack because I'm not a cocksucker.
Asians are just as terrible as whites if you look at all the black on Asian crime going on, not being reported by the media.
So I have another question. This is legitimate. I'm not shit posting. I promise.
Okay.
So, there was a summer for shits and giggles. Me and a buddy of mine, we had nothing really going on, so we decided
Shiggles, you say shiggles?
Yeah, shiggles. We decided to sit down and try and connect every major mythology that we could find and see if there was like a connecting overarching story that if you kind of broke down some of the
it's called pre-Indo-European mythology. It's actually an academic field of study.
Well,
the answer is yes. Carry on.
Yes, they do all connect. Every single mythology connects. So who's to say?
What was that video? There was a video that came out that put all of that around. Because technically every mythology revolves around the sun.
Well, hold on.
No, I'm seriously trying to remember the name of it.
The Zeitgeist Movement video.
Right,
that was
Zeitgeist. Yeah.
That was a shit post, though.
Yeah.
But it convinced a lot of people to start digging into that.
Well, yeah. This was before this was before at least like we were heavily on the internet. This was like 10 years ago. So we were like,
shout out to the YouTube representative watching the stream right now, trying to figure out why to ban us, because you're about 3 years late and $5 short, my friend.
Hell yeah. but so whatever, like
Church, they keep us on to prove that they're not banning people.
that's
because we don't have a huge audience. Fantastic.
Wait, are we weaponized shit posting?
Yes.
Sweet.
But so let's say 8 to 10 years ago, roughly, we did this, and we went through every single major mythology we could easily find on the internet at the time, and tried to connect every single all the dots. Like, okay, this person, Thor is the same as this person, Zeus is the same as this person, whatever. Because it's interesting, because I believe all mythology is based on some sort of fact of beings that existed that it got exaggerated over time.
Oh, so you're going to tell us how the Hollow Earth is real?
No, no, I'm not going to do that again.
Well, we gotta wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, because for the last 10 minutes I have something I want to talk about.
Okay, I'm wrapping it up. So we went through it. It all connects, every single story. So who's to say a Celtic, Native American, or a Sub-Saharan African story that are technically the same story, just with different names and different languages, influenced by different cultures or different stories? How do you distinguish that you can only write about these particular figures just because linguistically that's the name you call Thor, where he might be called something else in sub-Saharan Africa.
It's the progressive stack. That's how they do it.
Well, yeah, I know that, but in this dude, I already forgot his name because
Rick Riordan.
Okay, that guy, Rick. Go fuck yourself. How does he decide that? Because every single
of the progressive stack. That's how he decides it.
Every single culture has a myth about a flood that destroys the majority of civilization. Every story has a character that's a god of thunder that comes in and destroys the enemy and is super powerful.
So church
these recurring themes who have to be actual historical figures.
So church. I have an idea that Rune and I and Ayrton, we go into more depth of this story later because I'm not gonna be able to explain this all in 5 minutes.
Right.
Because there's a lot of good material here. Because Ayrton, I've never seen Ayrton this interested in.
Well, I guess episode 6 will just be called God of Thunder and Rock and Roll.
We need to start a sideshow called the Gospel of Mythology.
Yeah.
No, we don't have that kind of content. Trust me, I've looked for it. It's not out there.
Oh no, we could totally do a thing. We'll talk about it in the after show. So what is your 10 minutes of genius content that you have distilled out of?
And
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go take a piss while you tell us about your 10 minutes of genius content.
And now, what we like to call Church Corner.
Mr. Andrew Dick has been arrested.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Andrew Dick has been arrested. The comedian Andy Dick has joined the Ice Poseidon 2 live stream squad and apparently inserted his thumb in another live streamer's anus and was arrested for it live on stream.
He was also arrested before that recently for soliciting a sex act in a trailer park.
He was also arrested before that for spitting on and assaulting an Uber Eats driver. I mean, the man's unfucking stable.
Look, all I'm going to say...
we just need to get John Lovitz back on this.
Yeah, John Lovitz is not the hero we deserve. It's the hero we need.
Fuck all that. I want, what's his name that...
No, Church.
What's his name that died in the midst of the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, but...
No,
Church, you've heard it.
John Belushi.
Yeah, but Church, you've heard about this, right?
What?
How John Lovitz beat the shit out of Andy Dick?
Several times, actually.
Really? He just made this mention every time he saw the guy to whip the shit out of him?
So here's the thing. So you remember Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
So Phil Hartman and his wife had both gotten clean and sober. And Andy Dick got her back into drugs. And then Phil's life got out of whack. And then she killed him and herself. And Andy Dick kind of bragged about it in a bar to to John Lovitz, and he beat the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah, the thing is that John
Barstool Sports apparently has an article about this. Let's wrap the show with this article.
Well, before you get into the article, let me explain real quick. The thing is that Phil Hartman and Andy Dick and John Lovitz were all on news radio together.
Yeah. John Lovitz is a legend. Everyone knows this. SNL, Rat Race, The Wedding Singer, a million other roles. He's absolutely dominated. He's just one of these Hollywood actors who has stuck around forever, showing up here and there with often small but memorable roles. Liked by most, loved by some, hated by few. I feel like Andy Dick falls into a similar category as Lovitz, but is the opposite. Everyone kind of knows who he is, but no one really likes him. He's blowjob guy from Old School, the motel guy from Road Trip, and generally just kind of known for being himself and a disaster. He was accused by a ton of Me Too conduct, such as groping an Uber driver's genitals, and some other charges you can check out here. I'm not clicking on the link. I'm not particularly confident that Andy Dick fans exist. If you are one of these, please let me know and go ahead and get yourself some help. For context, before we get into actual physical beatdown mentioned in the headline, let's give some of you some context to Lovitz and Dick's past, because some investigated proof these two guys hate one another. According to an interview Lovett did with CBS back in 2007, their beef dates back from the 90s sitcom News Radio, a time that Lovett goes on record, "I don't want to talk about that," about. The initial issue surrounds the death of actor Phil Hartman. Lovett accused Dick of giving Hartman's wife, Bryn, who was a recovering addict, cocaine at a Christmas party at Hartman's house in 1997, causing her to fall back into drug use. This may have eventually led to her murdering Hartman, committing suicide herself in May of 1998. When Lovett joined the cast of News Radio as Hartman's replacement, he and Dick got into an argument in which Lovett reportedly said, "I wouldn't be here if you haven't given Bryn coke in the first place," a remark that Lovett has since apologized for. Not much is known what went down over the next decade, but then in early 2007, Dick allegedly approached Lovett at a restaurant and said, "I put Phil Hartman hex on you. You're the next to die. Chill out, man." Later that year, in July, Lovett and Dick got into a physical confrontation at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. Lovett demanded an apology from Dick, who refused to apologize. In turn, accused Lovett of blaming him for Hartman's death. Not wrong. Naturally, next, Lovett smashed the living shit out of Dick's head into a bar. In the same CBS interview, Lovett said the following: "I just wanted to say to him, 'Oh, I'm sorry,'" said Lovett. Then he leans on me. "Well, you know why I said that? Because you said I killed Phil Hartman. And the first thing you said to me when you got on the show. I just lost it, so I grabbed him by the shirt and pushed him against the wall. And he's just smiling at me. And then I realized, ooh, here's my chance. So I grabbed him by his shirt and pushed him really hard. I smashed his back and his head into the bar. And I did it again. I would have kept going, but the doorman broke it up." The amount of money I would pay to be a fly on the wall and watch Lovett just beat the living shit out of Dick. I did it again, but I would have kept going, but the doorman broke it up. Is a preposterous line. Imagine the reality in which the doorman doesn't step in and John Lovett's murdered Andy Dick. I'm not sure a single judge or jury would convict him. I had a ton of respect for Lovett already as an actor, a fashion icon, a man that grew exponentially upon discovering that he put an absolute beat down on Andy Dick, one of the least likable people on earth.
Now, here's another thing that blows my mind whenever I think about it. Do you know who else was on News Radio?
No.
Who?
When I hear that they were on News Radio, until I remembered that was an actual show, I thought News Radio meant that they were like on radio before they were famous.
Rune, do you know the answer to this trivia question?
You mean Mike Foley? Do you mean Mike Foley?
Who the fuck is Mike Foley?
A more important person.
Or no, Dave.
More important person. Ayrton, do you know who this person I'm wanting to refer to is?
Sorry, I kind of spaced out for a second.
He was contemplating the murder of Andy.
Joe Rogan was on News Radio.
Joe Rogan was on News Radio?
What? He was?
Yes.
Mikey, bring that up.
All right.
Joe Rogan played the character Joe Garelli.
Oh, shit.
On News Radio.
All right.
That's right. Before he got into the UFC.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, fuck me. Holy shit. All right.
Well, smack my ass and call me Shirley.
I wasn't going to go that far. Calm down.
So weirdly, Joe Rogan is the most famous person to come out of that TV show.
I mean, he also made people eat bugs for a living for a while. So, you know.
He didn't make them. They signed up to do it. They signed the NDA.
Yeah. You get paid to eat the bugs.
He persuaded people to eat bugs.
How's that? Let's just have an informal poll here. There's 4 of us on this panel, which means that on average, all of us know about 50 people informally.
I know like 4, but continue.
Well, I said informally.
I know enough informally to help push up Ayrton's numbers.
Well, let's just go off of that. Do any of you know anyone who is a fan of Andy Dick?
No.
Not only do
not
I not
a
know,
fan.
not only do I not know anyone who is a fan of Andy Dick, but you can't make the, like, not you, but just someone in general, could not make the argument. It's like, well, Joe, you don't know any fans because you're not gay or anything. Because I know women and I know gay men, and nobody's a fan of Andy Dick.
Look, straight up, I bought some of my favorite drugs from gay people.
Hey,
did you buy some of your, I gotta ask her, did you buy some of your favorite drugs from Andy Dick?
Real quick, Rena's heading
I
out.
wouldn't buy any drugs from Andy Dick. Actually, you know what? You're right. Before, well, as Miss Rena goes off to bed, let's pull up her Indiegogo.
Let's throw that in there for the fans. Let's get her some more money.
I mean, that's more important than any of the rage-fueled shit posting and arguing we do.
I don't know. I love arguing with you, Rune. There's just something about it that's so much fun.
I know, but Black Rhapsody is better.
what was even?
Oh wow! Thank you, Chad. Chad's like, I don't even know where Andy Dick came from or how he got famous. Well, you see, Andy Dick is a lizard person from the Hollow Earth.
How much money did she get? Yeah.
Right now, she's up to $5,438 US dollars, with a whopping 23 days left. So in less than 1 week, she met and stomped all over her goal of $5,000. But that does not mean that you should not donate and purchase this campaign.
No, you totally should. If you like horror and weird shit and you like music, go check out this campaign. Like I said, after I pay my bills for the week, I'm totally backing.
I'm in a similar boat.
Hey, the only reason I'm not backing right now is because my mom is in the hospital. I don't know if she's coming home.
Which is fair. The main reason I'm not backing the second is because of inflation. Because the government decided to print trillions of dollars over the past 2 years, and I don't have as much money as I used to back when we used to do this all the time.
All right, Brandon, let's go.
Hey, I said we audit the fucking Fed and tell everybody to fuck off to dissolve the country. I'll move to the Republic of Texas. It'll be great.
Indiegogo Black Rhapsody Part 1. Check it out. You got some amazing fucking tiers here. Let's look at them real quick, and then we'll end the show out.
Yeah, let's
get the all-in-one, which is 2 pinups and the acrylic standee. That's $50 US. You got a PDF option for just $10. You've got the book itself for $15 US. You've got the book with 2 prints for $25. You've all of the drawn in have been claimed, so you can no longer be drawn into the book. I look forward to seeing who is drawn into the book, but the artwork is looking phenomenal. And let's take a look at the discussion real quick. This isn't something we normally do. Such an original concept. This book looks amazing and badass. It's about time somebody wrote a story about how music affects people. Love this idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's from Seth Nickham. Thomas H. Roberts.ups says, this looks amazing. I'm going to go ahead and like all of these. Actually, no, I'm not, because I'm not logged in. Mark Mulgrave says, hey, Gingy here. Good luck on the campaign. It was a pleasure having you on the show a few weeks back. This book looks like a lot of fun. Seth Nickham says, I'm greatly looking forward to this release. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic comic. The concept images, character sketches, and sample pages look top shelf. The unique manga style. This has a mysterious styling that reminds me of old school Rumiko Takashi meets Yoshinobu Nishizaki. I can't wait to read this. I must say this concept looks promising. These are all real reviews from real people showcasing what a fantastic book this is going to be and how excited people are for it. And Magic Gal Media, a.k.a. Miss Rena, has gone above and beyond to promote and show that she is dedicated to this project being created and released in a timely fashion. So you can't go wrong backing this book, ladies and gentlemen.
She has both made me look like a failure and made me want to do better.
As it should be. Anyway, with that, final thought, gentlemen. No, you go last because you say the last words.
What? Okay.
Rune, you go. You got some energy.
I like that we can get into the most violent, vicious, unpleasant, unfair, knockdown, drag-out screaming matches, and then can go right back to being
unfair. I thought it was pretty evenly matched.
Shut up, fuck! You're
You know,
well, look, when the drunk at the. I'm gonna.
But no, I appreciate that we can just as readily
they're
go
putting
right
the
back
chemicals in the water that turn into freaking frogs, gay.
Shut the fuck up! You had your chance to make Alex Jones jokes. Too late now. But,
those weren't jokes, Rune. I was being serious.
But I'm super
I
glad
totally
we can...
believe there's lizard people in the Hollow Earth.
There's Hollow Earth, you fucking asshole! But no, I like the fact that we can go right back to being like bro tier reasonable people and talk about reasonable things.
Holy shit! Wait,
Rune,
we can
disagree.
Hold on, we can disagree.
Oh my god!
I can be. I got
this here.
And Rune can be a fucking lib pansy, and we can disagree. But
Holy
we can
shit!
joke around and call each other
Holy
retarded
shit!
and faggots on the internet and still be friends. Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Fuck! Since when did that happen? Holy shit! Where's the goddamn
obviously,
here?
Neither one of you have siblings because that's just how brothers act.
I think
I'm the oldest of four.
I think learning the lessons from RuneKnight, we need to give both these gentlemen ketamine to help settle the brains down.
Well, Rune is an animal, so he can just be a vet.
I am also I'm also like 2/3 removed from a Dracula, so I probably have your $20.
And to be fair, I've been in a dickhead feisty mood all day. I've been fucking with customers and my coworkers, so you guys got the tail end of that.
But that's what this show is for, and that's why I'm like, oh man, we can't miss an episode because this is our environment for letting this shit off.
You shut the fuck up and let Larry go so we can have our pro show.
Larry, would you shut the fuck up and go?
My final words are there's evidence that the wheel is turning, that the wokenists are receding from the positions of power.
Netflix confirms this.
Sony PlayStation also has said to people that there may be people who disagree with you that you work with. That's okay.
This is the animated contest of liberty.
So the end of this era of woke hostage taking of our entertainment media may be on the horizon.
Well, because we all knew the answer, Larry. Woke didn't make money. Money was going to win. Money's winning.
Well, yeah.
No. With inflation, woke's not making enough money. That's the problem. So
it never was. It never was.
Yes, but it's obvious now. You can't hide it. And there's been 24% inflation.
Well, that's why when we have our next RPG game, my character's going to be named. But he'll be back. It's where my next character for our next game is going to be Brandon Lisgo. I like that name as a name.
I mean, that's an excellent name for G.I. Joe.
But on a serious note, in a few weeks when my buddy has some free time, he's gonna come over to the stream and we're gonna yell and fight about mythology and how it's all connected and how you're wrong. Sweet, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna be laughing my ass off the entire time.
With you.
I actually agree with you.
Say goodbye to everybody, and I'm going to pitch the mythology gospel.
All right.
Mythful.
Church. Am I ending this? Am I?
You are ending this.
All right.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.